Hello and welcome to a very exciting announcement for the NBL. I'm Nerily Meadows. Today we announce a history-making deal with ESPN, the Foxtel Group, Kayo Sports and News Corp. To run us through all of the details, it is my great pleasure to welcome Hungry Jack's NBL owner and Executive Chairman Larry Kestelman. Larry, thanks for being with us.
Oh, absolute pleasure.
Well, let's check out the details of this big broadcast deal. First of all, it is a new 3-year deal with ESPN, the biggest media deal in NBL history. All 140 Hungry Jacks NBL regular season games plus finals available on ESPN platforms in Australia. A true media partnership with ESPN, Foxtel and News Corp agreements. All games shown on Foxtel and Kayo to more than 2.4 million sports subscribers and 2 games per week on Kayo freebies. 10 Coles Express NBL 1 games of the week from 2022 and National Championship games available on Kayo freebies. Sky New Zealand will continue to broadcast all NBL games on Sky Sports NZ through the partnership with ESPN, and an announcement regarding a free-to-air partner will be made in due course. So Larry, tell me, how excited are you about this deal?
I'm thrilled. I'm very proud. It's been 6 years in the making, so just couldn't be happier. I'm happy for our fans, I'm happy for our clubs, for our owners, for everyone involved in the sport who's worked so hard for the last 6 years in particular. So yeah, we're absolutely thrilled with the partnership.
An array of partnerships through this, so how did the deal actually come together?
Well, for us it was always more than just a TV deal. From day one we wanted to have a true media partner. That's what the sport needs. I think for any sport to be a Tier 1 sport, which we believe with this partnership we absolutely have arrived and are a Tier 1 sport now, you need a media partner. It's not just about broadcast, it's about all the peripheral services that this sort of a partnership brings. So that was a non-negotiable for us, and I'm very happy to say that it's not just ESPN who are the true home of basketball, but it's Kayo, it's Foxtel, and as importantly News Corp has stepped up and joined the partnership to help promote and drive the sport.
So tell us, how significant is this deal for the NBL clubs?
Well, for the clubs, there's one thing is the relationship with their fans. That's the number one thing that they do. And to help promote what the sport is all about, where are we going, what are we doing, you need a voice. The clubs need a voice. And through this media partnership, that's exactly what they're going to get. It's daily coverage, both through our channels, through ESPN channels, through Foxtel, through Kayo, but even more importantly, I think through the media, through newspapers, through radio, through print, digital. That's what the sport needed. I think it needed a voice, and through this partnership, that's what the clubs are going to get in each category and in each region. We feel we'll deliver a lot more information and promote the sport and the players and the amazing stories that they have.
You mentioned it there, but the fans, it really is access all areas, isn't it?
It is. Look, doing a deal with an organisation like ESPN where a lot of our fans already live, so they love their basketball, and a lot of them have the Kayo subscriptions and the Foxtel subscriptions, so something like 2.5 million households already have the product. So to be able to deliver it to them in this arrangement, we're very proud of.
We mentioned the term true media partner. What does that actually mean and how significant is it?
Well, when you think about the names that are involved in now backing the sport, that's what a true partnership means. When people get together to achieve an outcome, and when you have organisations like Disney, it's not just ESPN, but the Disney group. You've got the News Corp, the Foxtel, the Kayo. When everyone comes together and puts their power behind our sport, we move forward. So in 6 years, I think we've come a really long way, and now I can't wait to see what sort of growth we can achieve in the next 3 years. And that's what our fans want. They want the sport improving. The mums and dads that drive the kids to the basketball every day, the millions of people that play the sport, follow the sport. For me personally, that's what it's been about. I'm someone that grew up watching the sport. My son grew up watching it. My family loves it. But I see all the families that are so vested and love the game, and seeing them at the games and now being able to get access to this, it's really a game changer for us and for all the fans. And there's still more to come, a free-to-air partner to be announced. Have you got any information for us? Well, for starters, we're going to do 2 games on Kayo freebies, so that already means that people will be able to watch a couple of games a week without having to pay to see them. On top of that, we will have 2 games that will be shown on free-to-air. And we're a long way down the track in discussions, and hopefully, not in too distant future, be able to announce that as well. Exciting
times indeed. Well, it's time to check in now with Senior Vice President and Managing Director of the Walt Disney Company Australia and New Zealand and Head of ESPN, Kylie Watson-Wheeler.
Hi everyone. Well, unfortunately the lockdown has kept me from being there in person, but I'm nonetheless thrilled to be announcing this new landmark deal between the National Basketball League and ESPN here in Australia. The NBL is experiencing tremendous growth and over the last 2 years has become a key fixture of ESPN programming. We're thrilled to be expanding our partnership to make ESPN the clear home of the NBL, with every single game for the next 3 seasons to be broadcast live on ESPN, with the vast majority of games being fully exclusive to ESPN. There are many exciting components to this deal beyond the exclusivity, including enhanced distribution and digital rights. There's no question that basketball is ascendant in Australia, and ESPN cements its position as the premier destination for basketball fans with this deal. Clearly, the NBL sits perfectly alongside our NBA, WNBA and NCAA basketball packages. Next season promises to be the best yet, with the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers joining the league, Matthew Dellavedova returning to Melbourne, and a host of exciting new signings. There's never been a better time to watch the NBL, and fans can now watch every minute live on ESPN, the home of the NBL.
Thank you very much, Kylie. Well, ESPN have had a partnership with the NBL dating back to 2019 now, another 3 years on top of that. How influential have they been as far as the growth of the sport?
Well, I think it helps to be with someone who is basketball, so they already have a lot of the content that our fans love. So to be partnered with them and to be next to NBA, I think is great. We've enjoyed the partnership. They're a wonderful partner, and now to have the bigger group get behind it as well is just going to take us to another level. So we're thrilled and can't wait for the season. No doubt there'll be more challenges to come, but we're looking forward to a wonderful season to come.
You touched on it there, but it really is the home of basketball in this country, isn't it? WNBA, NBA as well.
Yeah, they've got college basketball. They do have a lot of content, and we love that the fans will be able to see it all in one place.
Foxtel Group, what will they be bringing to this deal?
Well, they've absolutely revolutionised themselves, I think, over the last few years, bringing on board KO, and I think for them it's just begun. They're an organisation that's determined to bring more sport to more fans, so we already know about the winter sports that they run. So now in the summer we're becoming a really important part of what they do. So their promotion and their exposure and how they're going to drive our sport is really important. Our fans really need to learn and be educated on where we live, how do they watch it, when do they watch it, and that's their component of it. Telling the stories of our players is super important. We have some unbelievable talent and more to come this year, so we want their help, and they've certainly bought into the idea that behind all of their groups, they're going to help promote the players, the clubs, and drive the exposure and the awareness. We want to know the stories. Behind NBL, there are clubs. Behind the clubs, there are players. Behind the players, there are their families and stories. Everyone has a story to tell, and that's what we want the help with our True Media partner to tell everyone to understand us a little bit better.
And how will that be complemented by News Corp?
Well, News Corp, huge organisation. I think there's not a media vertical that they're not part of. So for them to have the sort of exposure for our sport and have our back is going to mean a lot. So tell the stories through a different medium. We now consume things through all sorts of different ways, whether it's digital, whether it's on television, whether it's through our devices. So having them as a partner will help us, again, storytell. That's what we all want. We want to consume information how we want to consume it, and we need to make sure we have all the channels covered and all the different verticals, and News Corp, being the extraordinarily powerful media organisation they are, will help us without a doubt.
And of course, a huge component of the Hungry Jacks NBL is New Zealand, and Sky will continue their partnership with the NBL, which is great news.
Absolutely. So New Zealand will continue broadcasting all the games of not just the Breakers, but actually of every game of the NBL season next year. So super thrilled that that partnership continues.
All right, well, let's now hear from Foxtel Group Chief Executive Officer Patrick Delaney.
Thanks, Nerily, and hi, everybody. Well, we all know Australian fans only like to watch and follow the best in sport, and there's no doubt Australia's interest in the NBL is at a real tipping point. So we're thrilled to be backing it as it happens. We have a long, rich history with the NBL, and over the years, We have seen the players, the coaches, the clubs and national participation in the sport go from strength to strength. And we've watched the significant progress of the NBL with my friend Larry at its helm. From record crowd numbers, up 54% over the last 5 years, and growth in games with an amazing fill rate of 84% at stadiums, to extraordinary player achievement locally in the NBL, and then on the global stage with the NBA. An incredible 9 of our players in the NBA next year and 8 coaches. So we are really making it big time. Importantly, we are in the TV business, and we've watched TV audiences grow in this sport by 72% over the last 6 seasons. Not many sports can talk to that level of growth. Our partnership with the fabulous ESPN allows us to use the fast-growing scale of our Foxtel and KO streaming platforms to take audience engagement to the next level. With 2.4 million households now watching sport on Foxtel and KO, the Foxtel Group provides the largest audience of sports fans in the country. And as the key broadcast partner of ESPN Australia, we're pleased to be bringing all NBL games of this world-class competition to fans live and on demand this season. With this groundbreaking deal, we're going to extend our reach even further to help audiences for the NBL. We'll be streaming 2 games from every round on KO freebies. And with almost 90% of Australians able to get the internet these days, this will unlock even more opportunities to grow basketball in Australia. So look, in closing, if you're a sport and you want to grow, then you need to be with us, because with more than 4 million subscribers, more than 2.4 million sports subscribers, there's no doubt where the biggest sports and the biggest audiences are. And speaking of sports, ESPN brings the biggest American sports all into one place. And then there's the significant digital reach of ESPN.com and foxsports.com.au, not to mention the power of News Corporation with digital, print and online operations. Thanks, Nerily. Back to you.
Well, the best deal ever for broadcast rights for the Hungry Jacks NBL. It certainly is an exciting day. Larry, congratulations and thanks so much for joining us for this big announcement.
Absolute pleasure, super proud, and I want to thank all of our fans for backing us. I want to thank my team in the office that has just worked tirelessly for the last 6 years to bring us to this moment.
All right, let's say goodbye with some of the highlights, shall we? The top 10 dunks from season 21.
For the final time this season, we got a reason to count them down. It's your Aldi Mobile NBL Top 10 Dunks of the Year at number 10. Adelaide's Isaac Humphries sees a little crease and just unleashes the beast. Mitch Creek sprung a leak after meeting this freak at the peak. Isaac's rack attack gets in at number 10. On to number 9, where John Mooney reaches back in time to find that this brick works just like a dime. The man from Notre Dame straight bringing the pain as Big John is just too strong. He lands at number 9. At 8, it's Kiefer Sykes cutting back door and getting way up off the floor. The little guy rising high in the sky on the fly. Dude's got more bounce than a rubber check as he gets way up off the deck to get in at the rim at number 8. We're up to number 7, and just watch Matty Hodgson rise and straight vaporize Mason Peatley. Mason leaves this play with a thorn in his pride as Big Matt Hodgson takes him for a ride. This one gets in at number 7. At 6, despite the miss from Tyler, the Hawks have another frequent flyer. Justin busts into the rim to crush this rebound throwdown. Simon going hard, catching the Wildcats off guard, and this one gets in at number 6. On to number 5 with Detch on the drive, and it's Sunday, Bloody Sunday, as Matt Hodgson tried to summon the Angels, but Detch made this too painful. Just too much elevation, and Hodgson couldn't stop that detonation. Number 44 getting way up off the floor, and he lands at number 5. On to number 4, and it's Casper Ware showing a little flair as he tosses this into the air for the Xavier Cook slam and stare. X marks the spot as Melbourne gets rocked by Cooks dropping off a mountaintop. He gets in at number 4. On to number 3, where Yanni sees no remedy when Mojave's breaking free. It's King throwing down as Wetzel gets crowned by the can slam as Mojave King gets in at number 3. At the number 2 play, it's Galloway making Jordan Hunt melt like a candle because Kieran's too hot to handle. Erupting like a volcano on this hammer throw, Kieran sears in to the rim to get in at number 2. But at number 1, it's the best dunk under the sun in all of 2021. Space Cam measuring on the Richter scale as he impales Craig Mahler, going viral after he unfurled this dunk heard round the world. Of course, the airborne juggernaut lands on top. Cam Oliver is number 1 on NBL. Cut it!